Hello, Facebook. How are we all doing? So, going to take a little bit of a different approach tonight. Just going to give it a little bit of time. I've got my computer here next to me, and yes, I am at home. Just finished dinner, but it doesn't matter. We're going live. So I'm just going to give myself a bit of a chance to share everything up. We need to get as many people involved to get the to get the talking going. So we'll just hold up. We'll get it shared. We'll get as many people on here as we can. So, I hope everyone is doing well on this lovely Tuesday evening. Little bit of a very, very warm day today. So, and we did get a bit of rain this evening. Christmas in Narellan is on this Saturday night. So I'd love to know in the comments below if you not only if you are going to Christmas in Narellan this Saturday night, I'd love to also know where you're watching from. So we'll let a few people join. Then I'll start chatting in so we can have a few people joining in the conversation as we get into it. So if you are on the line, I'd love to know where you're watching from. Post some comments if you have any questions. As you can probably tell by the title, yes, we are talking about what is a base price. Now, have talked a bit about this in the over the past few weeks, and I've been getting a lot of feedback and understanding a lot of what people are starting to take in consideration what actually a base price is. So I thought tonight we should cover it. So during the week I put a written post on, which I'm going to refer back to tonight. So I may be looking back to my screen at the same time as doing this live post, because I want to talk about some of the feedback and some of the comments that people have actually given me in regards to what they think a base price is. So if you're watching right now, please leave in the comments below what you think a base price is. So what do you think a base price is? Jason, how are you, mate? Thanks for joining me today live. So yeah, I would really love to know what you all think a base price is, because that's going to really lead the direction which we go in with tonight's conversation, because I've found out that a lot of people are not really sure about what a base price is. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to find my post and I'm just going to start going through a lot of the comments and chatting to you about what a lot of people left in those comments and what they thought, because it was really good to see that insight. So give me a few secs and I'm just going to load up where these comments are now, and we will start getting into all that. Okay. So, all right. So please feel free to comment on anything that you feel that you want to talk about a base price. Dadco, we're talking about base price. So tonight what we want to do is I want to get as many people's feedback as in what they think base price is. So Jason here, we just said base price is how the house is, it's locked up. So the thing is, the problem with this base price is that it differs and varies from company to company. So the problem with is giving a base price or even receiving a base price, it's extremely confusing, because a lot of different companies do have different products and different levels that they call their base price. So If you are just picking up the phone and ringing company to company and asking them, what is your base price? And they give you a figure. To me, a base price number is just a random number that they are just picking out of the air to give you, because let's face it, you don't know what they've included in that price. So they could be giving you a price that doesn't even meet your needs. So, it's not fair to use for them to actually give a base price, because let's face it, they can just throw out a random number. I could just pick a number and say that's a base price. So you really need to start digging deep and finding out. It's not so much what is included. Too much focus is actually being put on what is included. So what your focus needs to be on is what's not included. You really need to focus on what's not included in your base price, because that's one of the biggest problems going out in there is too much focus is on what's included. So let's say, for example, they have, for this month here, we're including free 40 mil stone to the base price of your house, the base price of your home. So, excuse me, people start focusing on, oh, okay, great. So I've got 40 mil stone, but they always forget to focus on what's not included. And that's the most important part, because you actually need a lot of the stuff that's not included until you actually start researching and actually digging deep and actually find out about that. Then you don't actually realize or know what actually is going on. Looks like I've got a bit of a weak connection going on here. Yeah, so we're talking about base price of a home. So base price of a residential house. That's what we're talking about with the base price here. So it is a term that is thrown out a lot there now. So just wanted to go to a few of the comments, and I won't necessarily name names what people wrote, but I'll just read out their comment so you're able to get a bit of an understanding of what people think. So I've got a comment here, and it reads, a base price should be the minimum price of the completed house, i.e. including floor coverings, fly screens, privacy windows in baths, etc. Any site cost fees, etc. Unfortunately, every building is different, and you really need to see what is included. There should be an industry standard term covers a set package as a base price. Now, this is a comment left on my post that I did a couple of days ago, and I really, I have to agree with the last point. There should be an industry standard term that covers a set package as a base price. Unfortunately, I just don't see it actually going in that direction, because there is too much things that can vary from that. So unfortunately, I don't see a future where we will be headed towards where there will be an industry standard to cover what's involved in a base price. So unfortunately, I just don't believe that will happen. What I see needs to be done, I need to see that everybody needs to be educated. So this is what I've actually made it my personal and my lifetime goal, to make sure users are all educated on this sort of stuff, because there's a lot of people, a lot of things out there. It's very hard to get any transparency on what is actually included in all this, sort of stuff here. So I've got another comment here. A base price typically reflects a dwelling/house only constructed on your little piece of Australia. Generally, this means no blind, no ducted air, no driveway, no fencing, no turf, no landscaping, no clothesline, no letterboxes, and usually that is basic standard prime cost. There is typically a 100k difference between the glamorous display homes and the bells and whistles. So these are comments, guys, that are actually on my posts. So if you do want to go back and scroll down, and you can actually see all the comments people have done from the last, my little just text, and you can get involved in the conversation yourself. So, it is, reading through all these posts, a lot of people have different opinions. So if you are watching right now, feel free to leave a comment as well. Feel free to leave a comment. Yeah, Jason, house and land packages should normally is everything included. It should be, but a lot of things, a lot of times, what attracts people to a house and land package, unfortunately, it just is the way it is. The first thing they actually see is a price. So in efforts to get people's attention, then people will reduce the price, take out inclusions to attract people. It's just the way it is done, which is why I highly and strongly recommend you not to get prices over the phone. And that's one of the main reasons that we don't deal with price over the phone. We like to meet people's needs right from the beginning. So you really need to understand the customer. You really need to understand their wants. You can't just pick up the phone and throw out random numbers there. It's not fair to you, and it's not fair to us as well too. So yeah, I mean, please, if you know anyone that's very confused about this topic, please tag them in the comments below, because this is a very, very, very talked about topic out there, and a lot of people do get drawn in to this, and it kind of puts I mean, I kind of don't know, but I'd love to know what everyone's thoughts are, but it kind of puts people's perception on builders in the wrong place because of this whole scenario. They think they're all deceiving and deceitful, and this is why I've embarked on this whole journey of all this video and all this content and all these blogs and all these lives, and really wanted to get involved with the people out there and what they're actually thinking and saying and what they understand, because at the end of the day, if I can help educate you and it helps someone find their happy place with a lot less stress, then I'm happy. So please, my connection's a little bit shaky. I'd love to know. Thanks, Scott. How are you, mate? So, yeah, I really appreciate everyone joining me on tonight's live Tender Talk. So it looks like 8 p.m. every Tuesday night is going to be our new Tender Talk live. So, feel free if you have any topics you would like me to talk about. I'm happy to talk about anything you want to talk about. If you want to just jump in here, ask some questions, I'll do my best to answer them on the spot. If it's something that I'm not familiar with, I'll try and get back to you with some relevant information, some helpful tips along the way. So if you have any further questions on base price, please do leave them in the comments. I'll be in there talking to you guys and helping out and answering as much as I can. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me on tonight's live episode of Tender Talk. I am at home tonight, so I had to leave the office, but this is what I decided to do. I wanted to do it at 8 o'clock every Tuesday night. No matter where I am, know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take time out of my night to get to you guys. All right, guys. Christmas in Narellan. I'd love to know who's going to Christmas in Narellan this Saturday night. If you are there, keep a lookout for me. Please feel free to come up and say hello. I'd be more than happy to have a chat to you guys. All right, guys, see you this Saturday. If not, next Tuesday night for another episode of Tender Talk Live. Thanks, guys.